about couples who are about to break up. And I'm gonna share with you a story of my clients. It was a couple that was about to break up, but they found me. And I'm gonna share with you their story. I'm gonna call them Linda and Chris because I don't want to reveal their real names and identity. Okay? I'm gonna share with you the story of them, and after that, I'm going to share with you what we did to turn this relationship that was on the edge of breakup into a loving, harmonious relationship. Okay, so as I mentioned, Linda and Chris, they were about to break up. They were they were about to break up, but they deeply wanted commitment. In the past, they had a history of just breaking up with people that didn't match their expectation, or there was some fights, misunderstanding, and they just keep breaking up with people and they felt deeply lonely. So they knew that this isn't an option to just keep breaking up with people because they ended up lonely, alone at home, watching TV, missing a life partner, missing someone to share a life with. So they kind of already knew because they did it before that always just breaking up isn't the case. But they were still about to break up because things were just so hard. There were so many heated moments where they got angry, they got afraid, they got reactive. Yeah, and then they also had like a deep friendship. Before they were dating, they were friends. So they have like a long history of being important for each other. So that's really, really beautiful, right? So before they broke up, they actually found me and they were like telling me that, Ellie, listen, we both want to give whatever it takes to be in this relationship. We want a loving relationship, and we are about to break up, but we don't want to break up. What should we do? And their dynamic was oftentimes that they, like Linda, for example, she had huge abandonment issues. She was feeling afraid that Chris will leave her. She was feeling afraid that he will just drop her if she makes a mistake, and she was really, really, really scared. And every single time Chris told her some feedback, where he was like, okay, this isn't, they already moved in together, right? So this isn't at the right place. You should put the, I don't know, like little things, like the glass in the right place. She would start being super defensive and deflecting, like, what do you mean it's in the wrong place? This is in the right place. Don't ever call me out. And Chris felt extremely unheard, unseen, disturbed, and his default reaction was flight. Okay, so like people when they react from trigger, they are either in fight, like yelling, hitting, hopefully not, because that's like a police case, but it's like fight. And then we have flight, run, and freeze. So Linda got into fight mode. She was like, but the reason underneath was fear. She was scared that he would leave her. She was scared that he would abandon her if she made a mistake. But she's a human. It's not about a mistake. She didn't know where to put that cup. She didn't know what was his need. They moved in together and they didn't want to break up. They wanted to be together. They wanted to have a lifetime commitment, family, but there was just like this dynamic, and it kept coming up literally every single day, where Chris was really trying to tell her, hey, listen up, um, I have a meeting right now. He was working from home too, and that made it even more difficult. Please don't disrupt me. And then she already got into her fear of, but it was all subconscious. She didn't know that, but she went into the fear of abandonment because all of the breakups she was facing in the past, although she initiated it, left a scar of abandonment on her. And she was really afraid that he will just break up with her because that's what people do in the Western world. That's what people do in Europe, in US. They just break up if things don't go well. And she was really afraid because she really loved Chris. And then every time he said something like, "Oh, you disturbed me during my meeting, can you not do that?" She would go into fight mode, like, "What do you mean I disturbed you? I have the right to disturb you because, I don't know, she needed something, right?" Fight mode. What did he do? Feeling completely unheard, unseen, like I can't even have a work meeting in my home because she's gonna play music or disturb me. And she went into this dynamic of, like, they both went into this dynamic of this scenario. And then after he felt like, I can't even work, I can't even function in my own home because she is not listening. And it's not about wrong or not wrong, but it just, we have to communicate, because two people moving with each other, you're gonna have different habits and you're gonna have to communicate. Yeah, and he just needed silence during his work meetings. But then he was playing with thoughts, oh, maybe we should like move out, maybe we should just break up. Like, I mean, lonely isn't a happy life, but like this drama every single day is not cool either. And the more he thought about this, one time he even spoke it out loud. The more he thought about this, the more she was afraid. And it just got worse. The more he thought about, "Oh, maybe we should break up because this is just not working," the more she was afraid of breakup, and the more he was feeling like, I want to break up because she's in fight mode because she's afraid of breakup. You see how two people loving each other, two people respecting each other, two people being best friends, having a history of being friends, of valuing, of dating, once they moved in with each other, there was just, although they had the best intention and commitment, there was just so much coming up. And it was a repeating thing, day after day, month after month. And after 3 months, they reached out to me. And what I told them is this: in order to solve this, we need, number one, commitment, which you guys have, which is wonderful. You have commitment. Otherwise, you would have left each other already. Because those triggers and fight flight responses, where Linda is, when you tell her to put a cup in the right place and not disturb you during your meeting, she's trying to blame you. This is a fight response. This fight flight going on is just causing you cause her pain, she causes you pain every single day, and the relationship goes down the hill. It's like a flower which dries out. When you give a flower water, nutrient, it becomes beautiful and blossoms. And this is how your relationship can be. But if you're stuck in this dynamic of fight, flight, and you don't know what exactly is causing it, it's just a down spiral. And so I told them, what you need to overcome is number one, commitment. That's why, ladies and gentlemen watching right now, I am such a big fan of commitment. Because so many couples think commitment means we're gonna stay in this dysfunctional dynamic forever and be stuck in there and suffer. That's not commitment, that's being stuck in suffering. But commitment is, I'm gonna make it work. Let's do it. Let's find a way. Okay, so they were like thinking about it. Okay, what can we do? Can we improve our communication? Can we what can we do? So they reached out to me, and that was a very smart choice because ChatGPT told them to break up with each other. So Don't ask ChatGPT about your relationship advice. Don't do it. ChatGPT told both of them, your partner seems to be selfish, break up with them. Yeah, but they in this point they have been before. They've been breaking up with everybody and everything that didn't serve them, and they've just been alone and lonely at home. So they knew this isn't this isn't the best solution. Okay? And it's not like there's like a big problem where one person wants to have kids, the other doesn't. That would be a incompatibility, right? But they didn't have this incompatibility. The reason of the problem was a trigger, and that can be solved. So when they came to me, I had to work with both of them separately. With Linda, I first had to, because I'm not only a coach, I also can access your subconscious. I am trauma informed. I know about the subconscious conditioning, how to heal that, how to release that. And I worked with Linda, and we had to release her fear of being abandoned, of being left. The scars of the past and also the society have left a big pain for her, where she was like so afraid. And then I talked to her and I asked her we did also meditation, we really accessed the subconscious, and it came up that she was just afraid to be alone. And whenever she reacted to Chris when he just told her something, hey, put the cup in the right place, she didn't even know that she reacts this way because she's afraid to lose him. And luckily, Chris is a committed man, so he told her, Linda, I am committed. I'm so committed. I know I always take my space because it's like a little bit a dysfunctional communication right now, but I am committed. I'm not going anywhere. I chose you and I'm committed. I'm here for you. Okay? So she realized, okay, I don't have to be afraid. But then she told me, but what if he will not be committed if I make mistakes? We worked on that internally, and we also brought Chris into the conversation, and he assured her, it's okay, no one is perfect. Even if you do mistakes, I am committed. Yes, it's my trigger response to flight, but I'm not doing it. I'm self-aware. So you see, this is how we were able to access the core of all of that. And once we accessed the core, when Linda felt more safe, she felt more relaxed. She was like, it's okay. He can tell me any feedback where he wants his favorite cup to be placed at. And even if I forget, because she is a little bit forgetful, but that's fine. Everybody is different. Even if I forget, he's going to love me. He's always there for me. He's committed to me. And at the same time, her fight response was lower and lower and lower because she no longer was afraid that her man will run away. But then I also talked to Chris that it's important that he doesn't, say stuff that will trigger her abandonment fear. But at the same time, I understand his feeling of just wanting to run. And he has to be self-aware that he can take space. For example, saying something like, hey, I'm just taking some space, then we can talk later. But he doesn't trigger her abandonment fear. And if she ever, I also have been able to coach Chris through that, if she ever, crosses the boundary, she's becoming in her fight mode, blaming him, saying things aggressively, he can always set a boundary of, I just need some space because I don't like the way we communicate. But not in a way of, oh, I'm just going to run away from you, I'm going to break up because this isn't working. No, in a way of, this level of communication isn't very kind to each other. Let's take some space and talk later. It took us just a few sessions. They've been able to break off that pattern. They've been able to break off that pattern and be aware, catch themselves if any fear came up, if any reaction came up, and they are now happily together, happily planning their wedding, happily spending time with each other. It like they are not stuck in this dysfunctional cycle, okay? But they also don't break up because they don't know what to do. And honestly, sooner or later, if this dysfunctional um, pattern would go on, one of them probably would break up because it is painful. It is painful to live in fear, as you know, as Linda, that I'm gonna be broken up every day because he's just running from me. It's also painful for Chris, for the in this situation, to always listen to blame and be unheard and unseen for his needs, right? So probably sooner or later they would break up if they didn't have the inner work to work through those triggers, the emotional mastery, the self awareness. And it's just so difficult to see underneath. We always have thoughts, we do actions, and we think, like, for example, Linda was thinking, oh, because of him, I have to be defensive because he will leave me if I do a mistake. But it was all subconscious. She didn't know what was going on underneath and she couldn't fix it. They were stuck for months in this pattern. So you see, yes, you need commitment because if you want to leave each other, you can fix it, but you also need the right tools and the right guidance, okay, to work through things, to work through those triggers, so that this cloud can go away and the sun can finally shine on your relationship. You know what happens with flowers when they get sunshine, when they get water, when they get nutrients, they blossom. And this is how their relationship blossomed as well. And right now, they can just love each other, communicate beautifully with each other, and are planning their wedding and about to marry. So I'm so happy for them. And if you feel like you would like support in your relationship as well, there are patterns that you'd like to change. Make sure to reach out for a free love audit call because these patterns can be up leveled and it's easier than you think. It's just sometimes there is this self awareness missing, and even the most self aware person, and I would, for example, say that I'm a very self aware person with knowing all of the skills, all of the tools, all of the embodiments. I myself still have a coach and extra support if I need it, because sometimes in my own emotions, in my own, I'm still a human, there can be still fight, flight, freeze response or some blind spot. So even though you have lots of knowledge, if you feel stuck right now, if you feel like, oh, there is room for improvement in my relationship, I'd like to have some support, make sure to reach out for a free love audit call. Okay, it's completely free. You can already ask your questions. I'm putting the link in the description box. And I hope you take from this video the message that breaking up isn't always a solution. I know that it's better than being stuck. Like I hear you. It's better than being stuck or being in pain or being hurt. I get that. But if you don't work through these things, you're gonna keep attracting these kind of obstacles in every single relationship with a new person. It's the same pattern with a new man or a new woman. So I believe this cannot be skipped. It just cannot. And again, if you'd like more support, reach out for a free love audit call because I'll be more than happy to guide you through your next steps. Okay, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and I see you in the next one.